Niat ingsun sesaji tumpeng beras abang saking beras abang. Eyang Supo nyuwun panguwasane, kaki genisari nini genisari, panjenengan peparing katentraman karahayuan kabagas warasan dateng para kawula pandhean saisinipun.
Sedekah Bumi is an activity as an effort to realize gratitude which is carried out after harvesting activities. The word Sedekah has a meaning which means giving voluntarily and not determined by certain rules, be it regarding the amount or type that is donated. The community interprets Sedekah Bumi is a traditional celebration as an effort to express the gratitude of the people who are there. People who have this tradition think that the earth brings them good luck because it is a place to grow crops and enjoy their harvests, so they feel the need to carry out this tradition as an effort to express their gratitude for the safety and sustenance obtained while living on this earth. Sedekah Bumi is a form of the traditional ceremony carried out from generation to generation by the community since the time of the ancestors of the Javanese in ancient times. This tradition is understood by the Javanese as a belief and expression of the existence of the spirits of the ancestors or spirits such as spirits, demons, and so on. In addition, Javanese people also have a belief that these spirits can bring happiness, peace, and so on. On the other hand, their presence can cause mental disorders, misery, and even death. Such conditions will give rise to the thought in Javanese society that to avoid the danger or misery of these spirits, efforts are needed to influence them. Javanese people deal with these conditions, such as fasting, abstaining from certain actions, doing salvation, even giving offerings, and so on. In addition, this tradition has a more important meaning, namely, it is a traditional ceremony that has been attached to the culture of the Javanese people. This tradition is a symbol to preserve the local wisdom that is owned by agrarian communities or fishermen who live on the island of Java. The implementation of Sedekah Bumi in each region has different ways of doing it. These differences can be seen from the rituals held, performances, and dishes or food served in the Sedekah Bumi tradition ceremony. However, the goal is to both realize the community's gratitude for the safety and all the sustenance obtained during their occupation and stay on earth, as well as their gratitude for the success of the harvest. The implementation of the Sedekah Bumi in each region is different in the month of implementation according to the beliefs of the local community. The months of implementation are the month of Sura in the Javanese calendar or the month of Muharram in the Hijra calendar, and the month of Safar. In this tradition, almost all elements of society are involved in celebrating. The procession started from the traditional elders of the area. Farmers to ordinary citizens also participated in celebrating the ritual. All elements of society came together to gather in one place to celebrate the ceremony. Hundreds of residents gathered together to enjoy the rice and side dishes they prepared. The most prominent characteristic of the implementation of the Sedekah Bumi ritual is the existence of religious rituals led by local religious leaders and the existence of folk parties that are attended by all members of the community. What's interesting about the Sedekah Bumi ritual is that there are offerings donated by every citizen. Each resident will donate some of the products they get in a year to donate to the Sedekah Bumi event. In this tradition, a procession of gunungan is usually carried out, namely the product of the earth, both in the form of fruits and vegetables which are arranged in such a way, so that they rise like a mountain. For them, the mountain is considered sacred, because it is believed to be the abode of the ancestors and good spirits. All the offerings are collected and in the end, will also be shared by all villagers. Usually, they also hold prayers together at ancestral graves. The existence of a new religion that came among the Javanese people, especially Islam, has given a new color to the tradition. Pre-Islamic Javanese thought about the purpose of the Sedekah Bumi tradition is still influenced by animism and dynamism. After the arrival of Islamic teachings, they gave new thoughts, that gratitude should not be for the ancestors, but only for the God. This means that the teachings of Islam do not change the whole essence of this Sedekah Bumi tradition. This religion adds rationality and sanctity to the thought of this tradition. This is what causes the Sedekah Bumi tradition to not disappear, even though the animism and dynamism beliefs, which became the forerunner of the tradition, are no longer relevant for them today. In practice, the Sedekah Bumi tradition in the pre-Islamic period was carried out by emphasizing the servitude or worship of mystical powers, namely the ancestors. This is usually done by praying at the graves of the ancestors or places that are considered sacred around them to get blessings and safety. The renewal of the concept of thought carried out by Islamic teachings on the tradition has penetrated in a series of events carried out by the community after getting to know the teachings. These events, of course, combine elements from the earth alms tradition which are adapted to the Sharia in the teachings of Islam. Sedekah Bumi is usually filled by bringing in a religious leader to give lectures to the community concerned. There are also in some places, Sedekah Bumi is carried out by holding joint prayers and completing the Quran in the mosque. Apart from that, this tradition teaches a lot of moral values. These values include harmony, togetherness, mutual cooperation, and so on. Therefore, do not be surprised if it still exists today.